So I stopped defining myself only with my profession of the last 10 to 12 years and decided to define myself with books, yes, but also this need to make people feel like they belong in a community. In fact, books are one of the mediums I chose to try and do this. And so we set up this center called the Reading Room, where people could just come any day, whether it is for a conversation or if it is to read a book or to just listen to beautiful poetry. But more importantly, it's a place where little kids come every day to listen to stories, share their own stories, express, and most importantly, just be themselves. But why was this so important? You see, I have had a rather nomadic childhood, flitting around from city to city every 1.5 to 2 years, but never getting a chance to know what it feels like to be a lost stranger in a new place. And this is because my parents were both army officers. Now, that afforded me a childhood in 7 to 8 different army cantonments across the country. An army cantonment is a very interesting place. You know, it is this microcosm with well-defined boundaries where people from different parts of the country are just thrown in together, away from communities as they know it. So we have to develop this community of our own. We live in the same quarters, we go to the same school, we travel in the same school bus, we play in the same playground, we just spend an inordinate amount of time of the day only with each other for a temporary period of 1.5 to 2 years. And then you go to a new city, a new cantonment, a new set of temporary but full-time people. And you never feel like a stranger because you're walking right into yet another community that is tailor-made to welcome you and help you settle down and pick up right from where you left off. And then my parents retired, right? So, you know, higher education, profession, projects, it all took me to different parts of the country. But this time, I had to teach myself how to live in these big cities of undefined unbelonging. So all this happened, and then, you know, in this time, we try to find our community within our professional circles. They become our friends and family. And then I moved back again, and this time I had my son with me. Now, as long as I was working, everything was fine. But as he started growing up, I realized that he does not have something that we all take for granted. And that is a peer group of your own to come back home to play with, to freely interact with, to fight with. Now, I've been working with children for about 3 years, and I've come to strongly believe that this is an unavoidable part of healthy development in children. That is unstructured playtime with your contemporaries. Nothing can give you the kind of personality development or you know, communication skills as that free interaction can, but it's getting rarer by the day. And that's basically why this center was created. I put all my energies into creating a space where children could come and just do that. But this change also meant that I now did not have my own, you know, work group to belong to. Who do you ask for, you know, simple, small questions like a good place to get a haircut or get your blouse stitched or a good specialist to go to based on personal recommendation? Google it, especially in a new city. I was scared to not have that group, and that is why I decided to create this community, right? This time it was a virtual one though. So unsuspecting family members and friends, my husband's friends and family members, they all found themselves one day in this Facebook group called Where in Trivandrum. And the idea is anybody who's looking for any service or product in Trivandrum but does not know where to find it, especially if you're new to the city, can just leave the question in, and any other person who knows the answer and can share your contact details could just do that. And while we started small, the answering and asking itself got very interesting. Because for each question, there were multiple recommendations, never before heard of options. There were conversations happening, and this made people add their own friends and family members into the community. The growth was fast. You know, within a year, we were looking at about 15,000 people. We are still short of 2 years, and we're at somewhere between 25,000 people or so, but it's not about the number. It's about what this community has been doing in the last 1.5 years, the lives it has changed, the urgent requirements that we have addressed. And yes, we still answer questions about a good place to get your blouse stitched, because who would have thought that in a city, a place that can get your fit right is the single most sought after requirement. But what we really have are human conversations, discussions, debates, arguments, social issues, environmental causes, charity drives, and some amazing new ideas that brew and grow in the community every day. And I think this is because when you're a part of a closed group where you feel confident and you feel secure in that, there's this sense of, I can say anything here. Where else would you expect a person to just stand up to an entire crowd of strangers and say, this is my educational qualification, this is the experience I have at work, this is the budget I have in mind. Could you tell me what business I should do in Trivandrum? Right? I used to think this was bizarre, asking a bunch of random strangers for business ideas. Till I saw the sheer enthusiasm and excitement with which the most amazing ideas were just thrown in the group for discussion. And these are not random. These ideas were usually based on what people thought the city lacked, the services that were required. The confidence to ask a question like that and to answer it with that much thought, that can only come from this sense of belonging, this sense of wanting to contribute to improve your community. And what's even better is that all your answers come from real human beings. It's not some programmed algorithm that's responding. So for every question, you have, the recommendations are based on personal experiences, right? Clarifications can be sought, doubts can be cleared, working contact details shared, and almost every day we have appointments that are made within the community itself. Can you imagine being new to a city and having that at your disposal? An entire group of people who are just there to help you and answer your questions and help you settle down. I could not imagine not having that. I grew up with that. A lot of times we tend to think of technology and human interaction as two extreme contradictory things. And yes, when you work with children in this day and age, you come to vehemently agree that technology has been coming in the way of some quality human interaction with them. But here we are using that technology to fight algorithms and computerized lists to create a community that's so much more humane and helpful and welcoming. Right? And so this has happened to me quite often. When you walk into a store, a small store next door, and you have a random stranger come up to you and strike up the most amazing conversation. Because why not? You have that sense of belonging together to a community, and it's not just your local community. There are members who now reside in, say, US or Dubai or Delhi or wherever. These are people who just feel like they want to be connected to the city. Right? They want to contribute to the community. They might have parents who live here and now they know where to ask if they need any help with that regard. This is technology translating itself into a real community, a community that remains even when your power goes off. And it hits you every day that if you provide people this sense of, very viable, very decent and very well moderated platform, and I can't express to you the importance of the moderation, but provide people that and the impact we create and the awareness we have just because of everyday conversation in there, that's so much bigger than within our own small little islands. And the biggest example of this was during the time of the floods. Blouses and cakes came to a grinding halt. Overnight, the community transformed itself into this control center for flood relief activities. We had a bunch of youngsters who took up the task of constantly monitoring the feed, day in and day out, and to address every SOS requirement, every material requirement, every requirement regarding volunteers and manpowers, calling and verifying these requirements and then patching them up to the people they already knew could provide these services. Another group set up this collection point to collect, sort, and then send things to wherever they were required. It was just 10 to 15 days of nothing but flood control activities. That was unspoken camaraderie and support. And yes, it is a lot of hard work. Like I mentioned earlier, the amount of moderation required to keep a community that is this vibrant, positive, and efficient the amount of moderation is unparalleled. Any day we have anywhere between, say, 200 to 800 people wanting to join the group, just to go through those member requests individually, make sure they're human and not spam, make sure they're not minors, they're not religious or political propaganda groups, and then add them one by one into the community. It's a full-time job. And then there is a task of going through multiple tracks of conversations and comments, making sure nothing untoward is being discussed, sometimes having to delete certain uncalled for comments, occasionally having to step in to break up really heated up arguments. This is an everyday thing. But one day I had this lady who walked into my center with a box full of chocolates, right? And I don't know her, she just belongs to the group. She brought these chocolates because that morning there was a really heated argument in the group where a bunch of local business owners had ganged up together asking for all their advertisements to be allowed, which we couldn't do. No amount of moderation will make me exchange what those box of chocolates stand for, because that's what it matters to the people. And that brings me to local businesses. I could stand here and tell you stories upon stories of home bakers and boutique owners who just started off by putting one small post in the group, right, informing people about the availability of their services. They start getting orders, they start getting inquiries, their business grows. Over a period of time, they want to set up their business. They're looking for a space. Then they're looking for staff. Then they're looking for suppliers. Each of these stage are subsequent posts in the community. Just to watch that growth is heartening, because it's not the success of that one individual or that one business. It just goes to show that when you provide people that sense of community, you let them know that they are part of a community which has helped them every step of the way and it needs their services. People can make these small ripples of changes that become big waves. And then there are the clubs. So we have cricket clubs and football clubs, book clubs, music clubs. All of these have sprouted up because of conversation in the group. This is a community building the finer things that make us all human. A community like that, to me, represents hope. Hope in humanity, in the goodness of mankind, the irrefutable fact that people do go out of their way every single day to help random strangers. The very heartening fact that every time there's been one negative remark, there have been 50 other people who defend that against that remark, who show the positive side. You see, I truly believe that a community of about 25,000 people from various walks of life, in a small city like Trivandrum especially, are a pretty decent representation of the city. And call me an utopian dreamer, but if we can achieve this kind of ecosystem and positivity in a community that is this size and it's still growing, then we can surely extend it to include most part of the city and replicate it in other cities as well. We can all become that big, bickering, yes, but temporary full-time family. Thank you.